Well, for more on the lawsuit and what it means for Trump's border wall, let's bring in Paolo von Schirach. He is a professor of international affairs and economics at BAU in Washington. Paolo, first off, I know that you've got questions about the wall. You question its effectiveness as part of an organic border security plan. Do you anticipate that whether it's effective or not will even be an issue when it comes up in court?
Well, not really. The issue here is not whether or not the wall is a good idea or a bad idea, whether it's going to do the job in terms of stopping the flow of illegal immigrants, from the south, coming from Central America via Mexico into the United States. Now this has turned into a constitutional issue. Many states and many members of Congress, as a matter of fact, some, I would say, even in the Republican Party, question the wisdom of this decision by President Trump. And indeed, the lawsuit alleges that the president is actually breaking constitutional rules by redirecting funds to purposes that have not been authorized by Congress. This way, not respecting the division of powers between the legislative branch and the executive branch, whereby the executive can only spend money allocated for specific purposes by Congress.
We heard earlier that what actually constitutes a national emergency could be one of the issues that comes up. He is obviously saying this is a national emergency. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, look, here, there is no clear, hard and fast rule. We're still operating in the United States. I think there are about 30 emergency legislations still running. Some of them go back to 9/11 or even prior to that. In other words, what constitutes an emergency? It's in the eyes of the beholder. The president can claim, and he does claim, that the flow of illegal immigrants coming into the United States does constitute an emergency. Others, of course, disagree. So I don't think that's really the issue. The issue is whether or not, based on his own judgment, the president has the authority to reallocate funds that have been appropriated for different purposes to the construction of additional segments of the wall. As we know, through the compromise between Republicans and Democrats that led to the reopening of government, the president got a little piece of what he wanted, about $1 billion plus to build some sections of this wall or barrier or whatever we want to call it. But of course, he wants a lot more. And through his through this emergency, he is going to redirect another about $6 billion to extend, upgrade other sections of this physical barrier that would separate the United States from Mexico. But again,
he's obviously fairly confident with it. Trump himself has anticipated that this will make its way to the Supreme Court. We will have to leave it there, unfortunately. Thank you for that, though. That's Paolo von Schirach, a professor of international affairs and economics at BAU in Washington.